Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of Imagine Slagharen. Now, the first round is now over. I actually scored pretty well with my entry, so that's pretty nice. Well, at least in the popularity contest, where all the contestants can give their 5 favorites, I think, a star. And yeah, the entries that get the most stars will get some extra points in the end. So yeah, that's really nice. So it's good to see that I'm not doing too badly against all these Planet Coaster entries. Now, we have actually received our second assignment, and our second assignment is actually to recreate the old-timers in the park. Now, what are the old-timers? I actually collected lots of pictures, Google Maps overviews, street view pictures, etc. So I think it's a good idea to go through those. Okay, here we have my pictures. I will just go through them in alphabetical order. So here's the maps, the Google Maps overview. So here we have the entrance area, the area I worked on so far. And then here we have the main street. So it's a big area full of shops. There's a Ferris wheel and but yeah, mostly shops, restaurants, etc. And then here's a bridge, and then here we have the new coaster called Gold Rush. Well, I say new, but yeah, relatively new. And then right over here next to it are the old timers. And basically it's a car ride track. It's a really simple track, and there's not much theming. So yeah, if I'm going to build on the same map, I will have to expand it a lot. So I actually put some measurements here. This is around 400 meters. In the area we built so far, it's around 120 meters. So I'm going to have to extend it like 3.5 times or something like that. I'm not going to do it exactly. I'm also not sure if I'm going to rebuild the entire park. But yeah, this just gives us the approximate distance we'll have to extend to over here. So let's say we used 40 tiles here, then we would need like 3.5. So that would be around, let's say, 130, 140 times 140 tiles in this direction. So yeah, the park is actually quite long. Anyway, let's go through some of the other pictures that I made. So here you can see the ride more up close. It's a little bit difficult to see because you're standing outside of the track here. The track is here in the middle. So yeah, riders actually start inside this building you see here. Then somewhere over here they exit, and then they go around in 2 half circles, or 3/4 circles actually, before they return back to the station. There's not much theming. So also for this contest, they asked us to make our own theming. So I'm probably going to do some Wild West stuff, since the entire park is in a Wild West theme, of course. So what I want to do is here in one of the circles put some Indian stuff, or Native Americans. And the other part I'm going to do some Wild West town, or yeah, colonizer stuff. So here you can see the inside of the building. Here you can see one of the cars. Now, one thing that I believe that Planet Coaster doesn't really have is good old-timer cars. And also they cannot color their cars in different colors. And that's something we can do in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. So I believe there's 6 cars. So there's 2 red ones, 2 blue ones, and 2 yellow ones. It looks like the red ones has red. The red one has a red color with yellow wheels or yellow spokes. The blue one is blue with red spokes. Now here's another shot of one of the 3/4 circles. Here's another overview in Google Maps. This one's a bit more of a close-up. So here you can see the building with the station. It's a bit of a play area here. I believe it's like a big sandbox with some kids rides here. The building has 3 towers here on top, and there's some guards in there. And yeah, the building has a text on top saying Kids Country. Now here you can see a shot of people riding it, which is on the Slagharen website. So it's just a typical car ride with a guide rail in the middle and the car going through it. I might use the mini suspended coaster to actually make a guard rail for the coaster. Also, yeah, I could use the normal car ride track, but I'm not sure it looks as realistic. Probably a custom track will look nicer. Now here's another close-up shot. So here you can see the area. You can also see Gold Rush right next to it. I don't think I'm gonna recreate Gold Rush. Maybe I'll just put part of the track in the image. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with that. One important thing you also see here is the monorail crossing over the track right next to the building here. That of course will have to be in this entry. Here you can also see the guard towers more clearly. So yeah, and we do have this roof in the Roller Coaster Tycoon too, so that's nice. And there's these tall American flags on top. I'm probably just gonna put multiple of the wavy flags we also put on the entrance building. Here's another close-up. So here you can clearly see how the towers are situated. Now, I also took some pictures of a YouTube video where people were riding it. So this is what you see when you just leave the station. It's also a bit of a fence around it. So here, you leave the station, you can see a tree here in the middle. We're probably going to remove the tree and replace it with something else. Now, one thing you will also see here is the station for the chairlift. That's something I will try to recreate as well. Now you can see the station more up close. You can also see these poles right next to the track. Now here we've been through the circle and we've faced the station again. As you can see, there's lots of glass here on the side. You can now also actually see the guard here in the tower. He's made of plastic, of course, or maybe he's a test dummy. I'm not sure. You can also see some rocks here in the middle. Now here you get a view of one of the red cars with yellow spokes. Now here you can clearly see the monorail, which passes right over the track, right next to the building. So the building has a bit of an overhang here. So that's also going to be important to recreate. Here we are in the second semicircle. Here you're directly facing the water park, Aqua Mexicana. Here we are in the circle. Here you get a good view of Gold Rush. And then here you enter the station again. You can see a car parked here right next to this building inside. And here you can see the station on the inside. Here you can also see the play area that's in the middle of that building. Anyway, yeah, I will have a few days to recreate this. I think what I'm going to start with is to expand the park into that direction and sort of yeah, get a feel for how large this area will have to be. And yeah, just try to get the old-timers in their correct location. Now, one thing I will have to yeah, play with a bit probably is the location of Gold Rush, because as you can see here, Gold Rush has his station at an angle. Now obviously in Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 we cannot build the station at an angle, so I will have to choose how to rotate it. And what I was planning to do for Gold Rush is rotate it a little bit like this, just so the station will be in this direction, same direction as the monorail. But of course I do want the monorail to pass over Gold Rush. So what I will probably do here is, you can see there's a bend here in the monorail track. So probably what I will do here is make this bend a little bit longer, and then somewhere over here. So I will angle the Gold Rush track to be in this direction, and somewhere over here I will make the monorail track curve around, so that here it crosses Gold Rush at an angle, and here it will curve and go straight again. But yeah, that will be something that will be of concern later. First off, the assignment is to recreate the old timers, so that's what I'm going to do first. Now for the roof, it just looks like it's a big flat green roof. Not sure if it's sloped to the middle. It would make sense, but I don't know. I don't really know. Alright, so yeah, back to the overview. So first off, yeah, I put the distances like 400, this was like 100. So I'm going to try and make this part 4 times as long as the area starting from the road. And then later I'll try to cram in all the rides. Alright, here we have our park. I don't really know how many tiles we used here. Let's see. So yeah, we used around 40 tiles here to the road. So if we multiply that by 3.5, it looks like we're going to need to expand the map a little bit. Anyway, an easy way to measure out is simply by using the land tool, and then you can select the number of tiles you want to use. So I now said we have 40 tiles, and then we can simply do like this. So this is 40, this is 40, and then I'm going to need to do 40 another time, and then yeah, let's say 1/2 more time. Okay, I think I will not use the full length for the main street. I will probably just compress it a little bit. So this distance should be enough. Alright, so our old timers will go somewhere over here. Now what I will start with is the track. Now, I made such a huge path here, so this will no doubt lead to a lot of lost guests. Because when they're trying to get to a location from here, yeah, they will be busy for a while. Also, if they're here and they decide to a location, they will first have to walk all the way to the end before they can turn around. But yeah, I don't really care about lost guests, to be honest. Anyway, the first thing I will do is just create a track. Okay, in this part I want to have an S-bend, because this last part is not as curvy as the first part. Of course I cannot do that with the car ride, so for that I will just enable some cheats. The cheats that I normally use. And let's see, I will also freeze the weather, etc. And now I use the allow arbitrary ride type changes cheat. And then we can simply change it to a different ride type. And then we can make an S-bend. Alright, and then here we will have the station of the ride. Okay, I think we got the track layout down nicely. So here the ride will be under the overhang. This part will be inside. And now we just need the monorail to come and pass over this ride here. I'm not going to build the entire monorail yet. I'm just going to copy a part of the track and just continue building from that. Alright, now I think it's time to take a look at the fences that are around the ride. So yeah, it's quite typical fences. I think that we need to find something similar to really catch the feel of this ride and make it look realistic. Alright, I think this is the type of fence I'm looking for. So it's a wooden fence with not all of the not all of the poles at the same height. So that's also what you see on the real thing. The height of these separate pieces of wood, they're all kind of random. So that's really what I want. But we also have diagonal parts, so I will also have to think of something for that. Since the fence is rounded, and I don't want to make a zigzag pattern of fences for this. I really want it to look rounded as well. So I'll probably have to find a kind of similar wall that's also diagonal. So yeah, that might be a challenge to find. Okay, I didn't really find a fence that suits my needs, so I'll just have to get creative. Now let's first see if we can just make the fence one material or that we have several layers. From the looks of it, there's just one layer, but probably on the outside there's some rocks, that kind of stuff. Yeah, it looks like there's simply some rocks on the outside. I probably have some better screenshots of the outside. Yeah. So yeah, it's really simple. It's just a line of fences and some rocks put in front of it. You can probably use the ruins pieces for that. And there's a big rock here in the middle. Okay, now for these diagonal parts I'll have to get creative. So I'll just try to create a diagonal fence that looks nice and see if it works out. Oh, looks like I actually found a diagonal fence that I can use. It's not exactly the same, but I think it will work quite well. Alright, here's some knowledge for you. If you try to put any objects on top of a path, you will get issues, especially when guests walk over them. So, what people normally do in this situation is that they actually make the path invisible. So let's make them invisible here, because I really want to place rocks on these pieces. And then we lower the ground here. And then instead of putting normal paths here, we replace them with these colorable scenery path tiles. And the reason we do that is because these will not glitch when scenery is placed on top of them. And for these diagonal parts we will use these half tiles. Okay, and as a bonus, it also now looks like the path is built right up to these fences. So let me quickly raise this piece. Oops. And now we can simply place rocks in front of the fence. So I think I will use gray rocks. These mostly look gray. Well, actually, they're the same color as the wood, but okay. I think this works well enough. And now, as you can see, these objects don't glitch with the path. I don't think they will, even if guests walk through it, but that remains to be seen. Maybe I'll mix up these rocks a little bit. But yeah, I think this will look cool when we do it for this entire fence. Alright, I think we got the basic layout laid out quite nicely. So I'm now just going to make an entrance and a queue for the ride. I will replace them later with something that looks more realistic, but I just like to see guests actually already using these cars. Okay, what I will do now is I will just make the track invisible, and I will just replace it with mini suspended coaster track, which will serve as the guide rail. I could also just use the car ride track, but I don't think it really looks like the real thing. Okay, I think this will be a nice point to end this episode. So yeah, you could see the track layout. I did my best to recreate it. I think it worked out quite well in the end. So yeah, it's a really simple track layout, but yeah, I think it's surprisingly fun to work on it. Now, in the next episode, I actually want to make this this building with the 3 guard towers, and then probably we can also start on the theming that I want to add in here, which we were requested to do by the organizers of the contest. So yeah, I was looking at some of the Wild West scenery, maybe even some expansion stuff. That actually might look good here in here in the middle. But yeah, we'll see that in the next episode. Anyway, yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this episode, and I'll see you again in the next one. See you later.